Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and in today's video we're going to have a look at the latest from the live radar, run for the UKV, have a look at the precipitation and the temperature over the next 5 days, as it is going to gradually get warmer through this bank holiday weekend and be pretty dry as well, apart from maybe still a few heavy thundery showers around, especially in central areas. As we enter next week, we are looking pretty positive for high pressure to build in, and unlike some high pressure we've had over the past few weeks, it's actually looking like it could be a warm area of high pressure with a wind direction coming up from the south. Now, we're not expecting any heat wave or anything out of the ordinary, but we could be a good 3 or 4 degrees above average, temperatures into the low 20s, very pleasant, and it's looking fairly widespread into next week. So very positive signs in that medium to longer range period. So do remember, if you enjoy my videos, which you like and subscribe, and remember to follow me on Twitter as well, the link's in the description. Now, if you start on the live radar, you can see that today has not actually been particularly dry at all. We've got this sort of wavy weather front sat across central England, slowly lifting northwards over the next few hours. To the north of this weather front, we have seen some more heavy thundery showers. From the looks of some of these short range runs yesterday that we did look at in the video, we thought these were perhaps going to be a little bit more intense than they have actually been, so not quite as intense as we anticipated, but still nonetheless a few of these are heavy and still thundery. And as I said, the precipitation further southwards is slowly lifting northwards, but where it has dominated much of the day across England into Wales, it has been very cool indeed with all that trapped cloud, keeping the temperatures down into the high single digits or maybe double digits at best. You can see to the north and the south of the weather front has been slightly warmer. To the south, it's still a bit chilly because this weather front is being powered by colder air coming around the southern and southwestern side of the low, with that warm air getting pushed away, but still holding on in western Scotland, where we've got a bit of a fern effect going on as well. Temperatures into the low 20s here, so best conditions actually across parts of Scotland. Now, if you have a look at the UKV and have a look at the precipitation and the temperature over the next 5 days, you can see that precipitation is going to continue through the rest of this evening, but slowly shifting northwards through tonight into Saturday morning, eventually starting to impact those areas that have been really quite pleasant today through tomorrow afternoon. Further southwards though, look at that, a lot more sunshine around and less cloud, and even in the upper air, temperatures are dropping off slightly. It's actually probably going to be quite a bit warmer through tomorrow. As we head into Sunday, it's a similar story. Showers still in the north and west and a few pushing into the far southwest, but in between it's pretty pleasant with outbreaks of sunshine, and it's actually really quite nice. Temperatures probably getting into the high teens once again. Into Monday, those showers in the southwest still continuing to try and push in, and as we head into Monday, quite a widespread outbreak of heavy showers and thunderstorms. Even though the next few days it's looking overall quite a bit drier, we're not going to be completely out of the woods. You can see here lower pressure pushing in, warm air mass, convective potential there, and you can see heavy thundery showers breaking out, looking pretty slow moving, so it could be pretty intense where they do occur through sort of central areas, especially towards Northern England and Scotland, but also M4 lines southwards across England. It doesn't look like they're going to combine into anything sort of multi-celled, but they do look pretty intense, these pop-up storms. So I have to keep a very close eye on that for Monday. Into Tuesday, we do see in the morning pretty dry, but by the afternoon, again, we see the pop-up showers and storms breaking out. Again, this is not too unusual for this time of year. We're starting to get strong sunshine, warmer, more energetic air masses. These sort of scenarios do come quite possible and even quite likely at times. So yeah, Tuesday, another day of sunshine and showers. Some of you have a sunny day. Others may get bogged down under some of these thunderstorms. And then into Wednesday, it'll probably be a similar picture, but you see the wind direction slowly shifting, and this is as we start to see high pressure building in. So it's bringing in warmer air, and you can see that warmer air wafting up from the southwest, likely to bring much better conditions into next week. And with the higher pressure, not only is it going to be warmer, it's also going to be a lot drier. You can see at the moment the warm air is still in the north. Next few days slowly getting swept away by less warm air, but nothing particularly cold. And then into Sunday and Monday, we've got more warmer air around, causing those showers and storms. And then into Tuesday and Wednesday, cold air trying to push back in from the north, but eventually the warm air from the south will win out. If you look at the max temperatures, you see through this afternoon, pretty miserable in places, only 9 or 10 degrees under the rain. Western Scotland into the low 20s, where we've got sunshine and a bit of the Föhn effect taking hold there with that easterly wind. Now, if you look at Saturday, overnight temperatures dropping down chilly in places, but into the afternoon, temperatures a little bit higher, especially further south. It's more towards average 15 to 18 degrees. As we head into Sunday, another chilly night, but as we head into the afternoon, temperatures even higher, maybe more widely 17 to 19 degrees, especially through parts of central England. Into Monday, where you avoid the showers and storms, could see 20 degrees, but it is very hit and miss, all dependent on those showers. And the same will probably be said for Tuesday. Again, could be 21, maybe even 22, but again, will be cooler where we see those showers, maybe even slightly warmer where we have more persistent sunshine. And that's only going to get better into next week as we see that high pressure build in. It will allow not only for it widely to be low 20s, but the heat and the warmth will build day on day. I wouldn't even be surprised by the end of the week to see a top temperature around 25 degrees if we get lucky. Now, if you have a look at the long range, you'll be able to see this high pressure building in. Now, it's not completely dominant in the longer term, but definitely for a period of maybe 4 or 5 days, it is looking pretty dominant. So you can see the next few days, low pressure is still around, but in towards next Wednesday, around 5 days' time, the high pressure builds in with a southerly flow, at least initially, keeping us very warm and dry for the rest of the working week into the following weekend. Then, as we head towards the daytime period onwards, so we get about 4 or 5 days of warm, dry weather before eventually low pressure pushes in, turning it more unsettled and cooler once again. So you can see very warm and dry for a time. If we do run back to next Wednesday, a lot dry initially, then the warmer air masses start to waft in, and then eventually that low breaks through for Monday and Tuesday. So yeah, would be very good for a few days before breaking down a little bit towards something more unsettled. Now, if you compare to the GEM out to day 10, again, low pressure dominant over the next day or two, and then eventually high pressure building in for the middle of next week and dominating all the way to day 10 again, but we do see this low trying to break through. However, it is diving further southwards, keeping higher pressure, holding on. Now, what this actually does with this diving low is actually allows the winds to be even stronger from the south, and we see even warmer air wafting in. Now, this is likely to give temperatures perhaps even into the mid to maybe high 20s if this came off. It would bring the risk of more thunderstorms with lower pressure close by, but if we do zoom into the United Kingdom look, you can see for Sunday afternoon here, widely 20 to 22 degrees. And of course, this is midday, so by 3 or 4 p.m, maybe a couple of degrees warmer. So we're looking maybe widely at sort of 22 to 25 degrees. So that would be very pleasant indeed, being much warmer than some of the other runs, but it does bring in the risk of more storms with the low pressure set out to our southwest. Here, it is still high pressure dominated, but you can see the low trying to push in from the west with associated precipitation. And even though this is most likely frontal rain, at least initially, we could see storms again starting to pop up on the eastern flank in that warmer, energetic air. Now, if you finally compare to the eastern, we have again low pressure around over the next couple of days, but eventually high pressure building in by the middle of next week, something much drier and warmer with a southerly flow. And all the way to day 10, again, we've got a low trying to break through, but it's making very slow progress. And by day 10, similar to the GEM, we've got a southerly wind, warm air masses pushing in, and again, increasing risk of more thundery showers. And if we do zoom in 2 meter temperatures, look about widely 20 to 22 degrees at midday as well, most likely up towards 25 by the middle of the afternoon. And overnight temperatures pretty balmy indeed, 15 to 16 degrees overnight. So those are proper summer-like overnight temperatures. So that would be very warm indeed, would be some proper signs of proper summer weather if this came off, which is looking increasingly likely, but not guaranteed. As you can see from the latest Ensemble run, See around average over the next couple of days, and that's why the temperature will be a bit up and down. But where we see sunshine, could get up towards the high teens. Into the middle of next week, around 5-6 days time, we start to trend more above average, and we peak at our above average around 10 days out, around that 10-day time frame, and that low starts to approach. Because when that low starts to approach, it tightens the isobars and draws up a warmer southerly flow. So even though it does bring the risk of some thunderstorms, some showers, and maybe a bit of a breakdown in the high, it actually draws up the warmest air. So again, we'll have to wait and see, but you can see here from around the 8th of May, so Wednesday next week, throughout the next sort of 5 days beyond that, fairly bone dry from a lot of the ensemble members. Not zero, there are still some spikes, but mostly dry. And even the period beyond that, it is looking relatively dry as well. Just the uncertainty does increase. So sort of the headline is turning drier next week. That's looking very likely. And turning warmer. Might take a while to get properly warm and more than just a degree or two above average, but that looks increasingly likely from the looks of the runs today. If we look at the 2 meter temperatures, you can see maybe mid to high teens over the next couple of days where we see sunshine, but progressively into next week, more likely high teens touching 20 degrees, and even the risk of getting toward the low to mid 20s from some of the runs here. Again, they're not going to be the most accurate. They work at 6-hour intervals, so these are midday and 6 p.m. temperatures, so likely to be slightly higher, and of course they're low resolution, so not going to pick up on the smaller microclimate details. We can see where London is maybe a degree or two warmer than outer London, for example. So inner London's a degree or two warmer than areas outside of London. If we finish by looking at the ECMWF ensembles, very similar, pretty much exactly the same. Much lower precipitation in that period, though, we're keeping an eye on, which is a very positive signal, and even warmer upright temperatures in that medium to longer range period out towards day 10. Higher precipitation in the longer term, that's expected with more ensemble members, but just shows you that, yes, a drier 5 or 6 days could be coming up, but it's not a foreseeable future thing. It's definitely a period of time that could get extended, but at the moment, the model's definitely looking at breaking it down at that low beyond that period. And with the 2 meter temperatures, again, you can see that upwards trend comfortably towards 20 degrees for a good few consecutive days there, from around sort of the 9th, 10th to the 13th of May, looking very positive indeed for something much warmer and drier next week. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you again for another video soon.